Your arms don't be getting tired at all? Nah?
Mental, yeah, I was trying to tell you that. You kept saying, no, I'm tired, I'm tired. You're gonna make yourself more tired when you say that.
Yeah.
You gotta tell yourself, like, shit, I ain't tired, I don't get tired. Okay.
Shakur Stevenson was recently caught on camera sparring with streamer Oblivion, where the footage clearly shows him knocking Oblivion down with ease. However, after the session, additional leaked clips surfaced showing Stevenson dancing with women, smoking, and drinking inside a nightclub. From a competitive standpoint, Dalton Smith is targeting a career-defining bout against ring junior welterweight champion Shakur Stevenson, aiming to test himself against.
Would Shakur be the dream fight?
Of course, I know you say that's just a rewind of Hat Mayweather. You know, rewind them days.
Yeah.
You know, we do it at Hillsborough, big night in Vegas. You know, they're the fights to be made. They're the big fights out there.
Do you think he stays at 140?
I'd like to think so. You know, I probably see him sticking at 140. You know, he beat T.O., the main guy for me. He beat him, so, you know, I see no reason why he wouldn't stay at 140.
Meanwhile, Stevenson stated on the Ariel Helwani show that his main goal is to face Gervonta Tank Davis next. He emphasized that his priority isn't just the fight he personally sees as the biggest, but the one the public considers the biggest in boxing. When asked directly, he confirmed that Tank Davis fits that description and reiterated his intention to make that fight happen. Shifting focus.
I'll say this, I would love to make the biggest fight in boxing happen. It ain't about what I consider the biggest fight in boxing. It's what y'all consider the biggest fight in boxing. So y'all know what that means.
Is it Tank Davis?
Like I said, I would like to make the biggest fight in boxing happen.
Holy smokes.
I'm down with whatever, you know, whatever makes sense. But once again, I would love to make the biggest and best fights happen. I would love to make the most competitive fights happen. And I would love to show the world why I am the best fighter in the sport of boxing.
To Ashaqui Foster, he has also expressed interest in fighting Stevenson. Foster is confident about winning his upcoming bout, believing it will open the door to bigger opportunities. While he didn't guarantee a knockout, he's certain of victory and even suggested he could stop Stevenson if Stevenson becomes overly aggressive. If that fight doesn't materialize, Foster is considering facing the winner of Lamont Roach vs. William Zepeda or pursuing other unification bouts. In another interview, Foster doubled down on his challenge, stating that Stevenson would have no excuse to avoid him after his next fight. He even said he's willing to move up to 140 pounds if Stevenson refuses to return to 135. Just to secure the match. During a live session with Showbiz, it was suggested that Stevenson should take on Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney at 147 pounds, especially since he had shown openness to fighting Conor Benn at that weight. Stevenson responded by saying he is naturally smaller than both Garcia and Haney and doesn't truly belong at 147. He also pointed out what he sees as a double standard in expectations. Meanwhile, Najee shared his perspective, claiming that Keyshawn Davis is the only fighter between 135 and 140 pounds capable of defeating Stevenson. He based this on their extensive sparring history, which gives Davis a deep understanding of Stevenson's style. Stevenson himself prefers to compete at 135 pounds but remains open to moving up to 140 to showcase his abilities. He acknowledges the talent in both divisions but intends to stay primarily at lightweight, with occasional moves up. According to top-ranked matchmaker Brad Goodman, Stevenson has even requested a fight against IBF.
He said he wanted me to fight his son. He said, give my son an opportunity, and then I'll fight you. Or he said, if you don't, I won't fight you. So, we looked at our options, and then it was a lot of people, a lot of interest in this fight. Yeah. So, to make the storyline great, might as well beat up the son, then, go see the pops. Yeah. If after this fight, when I crush his mans, if he say, oh, well, I'm not coming back down to 35, you got to meet me, I'll jump 35, go to 40 just for him.
Yeah.
So, ain't no way to run. Yeah, ain't nowhere to run. He not no big 40-pounder, 47-pounder, so it ain't nothing.
Lightweight champion Raymond Muratalla at a 145-pound catch weight, an unusual move considering Stevenson typically competes at 135 or 140. Conor Benn responded critically to Stevenson's physical presence, arguing that Stevenson is too small and lacks the power to pose a serious threat. Benn also dismissed the idea of a rehydration clause, calling it a major obstacle.
Be fair if I push you on something.
if you can make 147, make 147. You can make 147 against Conor. That means you can make the weight. So if you can make the weight, then why not fight, take their belts, fight Ryan, and fight Devin at their weight?
Because once again, I'm not a 147 pounder. I'm actually a lot smaller than them guys that's fighting at 147 pounds. So I get it. I understand what you're saying. But what I'm trying to understand is, and I answered your question, answer mine. Why am I the only fighter that y'all want to fight at 135, 140, and 147? Why do I gotta fight 3 different weight classes for everybody else?
In negotiations. He later clarified that the earlier 147 pounds discussions were never serious and were more about generating buzz, with the focus now returning to 135 pounds. Andre Ward views a potential Stevenson versus Ben matchup as highly compelling, citing strong fan interest in contrasting styles.
One guy that I see that has potential to actually beat Shakur. There's only one guy. Unfortunately, the boxing world is never going to get to see it because they vowed not to fight each other. The guy's name is Keyshawn Davis. That's the only guy. When I'm looking at what they do, number one, the experience of just having rounds with Shakur, right? Like, these guys spar all the time. I'm sure he knows Shakur's, his nuances, his technical abilities, the things that he's had success in sparring against. Keyshawn also is the naturally bigger guy, a guy with some length. He's a little bit bigger than Shakur, and he has power, great boxing skills. I mean, if anyone can beat Shakur, it's the guy that spars him all the time, Keyshawn Davis. Unfortunately, listen, I'm not a fan of it. I told him all the time, man, I don't care about the brother thing. I want to see y'all fight. I want to see it. Of course, they don't care. They don't respect it. But to me, that's the guy that has the ability to beat Shakur. If there is anyone that can beat him, it's Keyshawn Davis.
He describes Ben as a dangerous pressure fighter with aggression and power, but believes Stevenson's skill and ring IQ would ultimately allow him to take control and dominate the fight. Penny Ellis also weighed in, noting Ben's relentless pressure and aggressive style as unique challenges.
What weight do I want to fight? I don't know, bro. I'm just cruising probably through 35, 40. I really don't want to fight 40, but then it's like, I do want to show niggas, like,
And do you think the
like
expectations at you already did like 140, right? Expectations like, all right, man, he can do 140. If you go down, people gonna be like, why the fuck you ain't stay at 140? You know what I mean?
Nah, because there's some good fighters at 135 too. So even if they, like, at the end of the day, anything we do, like, is like people gonna say something anyway. So regardless of whatever they say, but as far as like, it's some good fighters at 35 too, and there's some good fighters at 40. So it just depends on what all makes sense.
However, he still believes Stevenson has the tools to outbox him through superior skill and control. Edgar Berlanga is enthusiastic about the possibility of Stevenson versus Ben taking place in London, calling it a major global event.
Raymond has one more fight at 135. We're already planning with Top Rank his next fight, and it'll be sometime in the summer. And we're planning it. But if we are to get that offer and we are to get that, that opportunity to fight Shakur in our next fight, then it's a fight that needs to happen, that should happen.
Shakur Stevenson, what do you make of his performance this evening?
BTA. Easy work, man. My brother did his thing. I'm proud of him.
Look, people did have him.
He believes the combination of styles and international appeal could make it a headline attraction with massive viewership.
I said, go in there and just dominate him. And that's exactly what he did. He shout out to Shakur. He did his thing, and I'm proud of him.
There's a lot of talk about him and the pound-for-pound list. Where does that put him now?
One of the greats. Future great for sure. Future legend.
Last one for you. We saw Conor Ben get in the ring. They had a bit of a heat.
That's going to be a good one, man. They got to do that in London.
Is that a fight you want to see, though?
Hell yeah. Conor Ben is my brother, too, man. So that'll be a goodie right there,
Who's going to win that fight, then?
I don't know. No comment. Those are my brothers, man. They're going to make a lot of money, that's for sure.
On the other hand, YouTuber analyst Showbiz is backing Conor Ben to win by knockout. He highlighted Ben's speed, power, aggression, and athleticism as key advantages, arguing that his pressure and combination punching could be overwhelming. Still, he acknowledged Stevenson's mindset, emphasizing his competitiveness and drive for greatness.
Conor Ben knocking you out. I think Conor Ben will knock you out, brother. And I know for you, that's just fuel. That's music to your ears. I know you're a savage. I know how you are. You're on demon time. And I know you guys like, oh, the war room think I'll get knocked out. If anybody think I'm going to get knocked out, I'm really going to do it now. So I know Shakur, he's hyper competitive, but I think Conor Ben sleeps him. I really do. Conor Ben, his athleticism, his speed, his tenacity, his power, his combinations, his head movement, his full body speed. I just think, and he fought at 160. At 147, he's even faster. He's strong. I just think that's a huge problem for Shakur. I really do. But Shakur wants to do it, and I am all for it. Shakur feels he can beat him. It doesn't matter what I think. Shakur thinks he can beat him, and that's the most important thing. Shakur Stevenson is one of those guys trying to go for greatness, and he called out Conor Ben, and he's talking about following through. And His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, I'm sure he has some interest in it.
For Shakur would silence the boring label overnight. It would prove that defense control and ring intelligence can defeat the most feared puncher in the division. For Tank, beating Shakur would be just as powerful. It would confirm what his team keeps saying, that Shakur can move, box and talk strategy, but once Tank touches him the whole plan changes. That is why both sides keep circling each other. Every interview adds fuel, every comment becomes personal, and every delay makes fans wonder whether the fight is being built or avoided.